I did duck lips there. I don't know if you saw that because the screen changed. Anyway, what's up? What's up, everybody?
Hi, I missed your duck lips, and I'm happy to be here.
Hey, Bill.
All right, so this is episode 127 of Three Questions a Song, the podcast where the title says it all, except it really doesn't because I don't follow my own rules. With me tonight are Age of Fiction, Holly and Brian.
We don't follow rules either.
Not much.
I know, I'm worried.
We'll try to follow yours, Bill.
We'll do our best.
Well, I just told you I'm not following my rules, so.
You're right.
Okay, fair point. Fair point.
And Facebook thinks that I don't follow their rules, even though I do.
That's
But
good. That's
anyway.
good. Let's not follow
Maybe
any
we don't need to conform. I mean, maybe it's
any
important
of those
not to conform to Facebook.
the bros.
That might
Let's
be-
not follow
that's
the
okay.
bros rules. How's that? No bro rules.
All right, so for anyone who is not familiar with Age of Fiction, why don't you guys give me a quick synopsis of your band?
Okay. Yes. Age of Fiction is a progressive band that dabbles in sort of metal and art rock and kind of dark gothiness. We get a lot of comparisons to Susie and the Banshees, but then we do a lot of
psychedelia,
a lot of prog with some psychedelia edges.
But we also have some stuff that we're so eclectic. We have things that are swing. One of our biggest songs is kind of a swing metal song. We have, many things, love ballads, and we kind of go everywhere. We like to.
We're explorers and jammers,
music,
improvisers, and
Yeah.
writer. I'm a writer,
Yeah.
so we like to take improvisation and then make it permanent.
Right. I mean, when your influences go from Verdi,
We do like Verdi.
to Hank Senior. It's
Sure.
You're covering away. I mean, it's all there.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if we covered the fact that you two are married in the last episode we did, but it's kind of important.
Usually it's mentioned.
Yeah, we are. We're married.
But
we have children. We've
please.
been together for a long, long time. We got together in '92 as boyfriend and girlfriend, and we stayed
High
together
school.
all through high school and got engaged when we were in our 20s. And
She stalked me.
oh yeah, I full on stalked him. When he was a teenager, I was like, I met him and I was like,
I didn't mind having a stalker. I thought it was
That guy
pretty neat.
seems like there's something going on behind his eyes. I was sort of a clear dance.
I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
redhead dancer. She was a dancer too at the time. Redhead dancer is stalking me.
I was in.
Sorry, guys. I'll see you later. Where are you going? This way.
So I think you kind of gave a good backstory to what I was going to ask. When did you realize that you were going to be in a band together? And
Oh goodness.
I feel like it was probably a while ago.
It was, but not actually as far back as that. But Holly definitely. She did a lot of solo work. She was doing stuff. She was part of, I think, what got me was going over to her place in high school, and she's 15 and I'm 17, and she's sitting there writing a song. She has her keyboard set up, and I wanted to be a musician at the time. I love music. I just, I always just, I love it. I'm one of those kids, one of those Gen Xers that always had headphones on, man, on the bus and wherever. And and when I was older, I had my headphones on the ski slopes. I was going down the mountains with whoever was at the time that felt good. But when I was that young, I at her house, dating this pretty girl, and she's just kind of sitting there working on a song, and I froze. And I remember freezing and just staring at her, and she's doing stuff. And at one point she looks over and goes, "What?" And I was like, "How do you do that? How do you just write a song?" Because she would be sitting there and working on the thing, but it wasn't what I knew to think of as songwriting at the time. There weren't notes going down and stuff. She was holding a crayon, writing on a scrap of paper, and but for hours just honing out this song, and I just didn't understand how somebody could do that, and she goes, well, I write by ear. And it was the first time I had heard it, that someone writes by ear, and I suppose it wasn't, but it was the first time that I'd ever really thought of had it smack me in the face what it looked like. And
you wanted to be in a band with me on that day.
I wanted to be in a band.
I don't think he
I wanted to be in a band with all my friends in kindergarten. We sat there waiting for the bus, in what the hell ever, 1982 or whatever it was.
We're pretty close in age, I think.
Yeah, 74. I was born. But
76.
Okay, so and I'm sitting there and we're like, oh no, I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna play, and you're gonna write the songs. And I remember my friend Jason looking at me, oh, I'm just gonna write the songs. He's like, you think that's real easy? I'm like, well, I want to be the drummer.
So Brian didn't start drumming until, what was it, 90?
I was 24 actually when I first started. I know I've said it before. I was 8. My mom said no, absolutely not, you're not drumming. I decided to take all of her pots and pans and beat on them for an hour or so, and then put them back out of fear that the dents would be noticed. And and then I kind of forgot about it and focused on just doing other art, visual art. I love all pottery, painting, photography, all this. I love all the art, and then it was Holly that, kind of made me feel like I had permission to do art, because she gave it to everyone. She had lots of, music background, lots of training with different things, that, maybe she doesn't think it was as much training as it was, but it was 1,000 times more than what I had. And so I just felt permission to explore.
I was a really natural teacher. I did teaching. I was a dance teacher all throughout high school, and my only profession has been teaching related. That beyond music, that is. And so, I think I found it. I found it really easy. I like to encourage people, and I'm an instigator. If I find someone who's thinks they might want to sing, I'm that person who might have them over singing a karaoke song and they didn't really know what they were getting into. I start unfolding that. I'm really interested in getting to that.
For years, I just kind of
fun.
Yeah.
So I have an off the air story for you. Don't let me forget to tell you about teaching music.
All right.
I would love to hear that.
For years, absolutely. I tinkered with just hand drums. My it's behind Holly, but my first drum was this djembe right here, and I got that, and I just like playing it because. And
I saw it in the video.
Oh yeah, it's been used many times.
Yeah,
it was once a kick drum. I turned it into a kick drum for a while, blew a hole in it, but the head still works pretty fine, even though it's had a hole in it for 20 years. But I got that because there was a hand drum group in North Kenai called Alaska, called North Road Pounders, and we went to see them once, and I played around and realized that I liked messing with their drums and hand drums.
Big
got
moose skin drums and weird, big percussion.
And that showed me I kind of had a propensity for it and stuff, and messed around with that. But mostly for a long time, I was a roadie for Holly, in Kenai and Anchorage, and then down in Seattle, and she had this.
So you guys met in Alaska?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brian was my neighbor. We met in high school. Yeah. A friend introduced us. We started dating immediately. We were just best friends, always together. Just
we had both been just recently out of relationships and so.
I know, at 15 and 17, so serious they were, but
I had some completely honest empathy for her situation that had absolutely no expectation at all, and I gave her a hug of sympathy, and understanding, and basically went away. And then she chased me.
I
After
thought about
that,
I
she
thought
was
about
like,
that hug for a
oh,
while. I went home and thought about it.
what can I say?
I was like,
I give
I
good
think
hugs.
that guy, I think he would be really supportive and wonderful to be around. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it was really, it was supposed to happen because when we moved to Seattle, and I we both started meeting friends and bringing them kind of like in and jamming together. We were seeing shows all the time and jamming every weekend. We both changed because we were learning a lot jamming for like decades.
To a note,
we're still doing that.
When we moved to Seattle and when we finally got into Seattle, Holly started working at the Science Center. And she was at the Science Center for a few weeks. And I, at that time, actually liked to carry that djembe around with me in the car. And I would sit there and play it because I was, whatever, I was in my 20s. I like to play it at red lights or places, and I would play it at when I was
waiting for the bridges to come up and down again.
The back of the Science Center, where the loading dock is where all the employees would come out. So I would pull in there and wait at the loading dock for Holly to come out after work, and I'd sit there and just kind of noodle on the thing, and some of the guys that worked there heard it, and because they heard it, they approached Holly.
They're like, wait a second, is your husband a drummer? Are you guys musicians? Because we love to jam. Do you like to jam or something? Right. Like we started talking, and it was like, wow. Jeff Jackson, our friend, we could listen. We had all these world bands no one's ever heard of that like we had in common, and really weird, like obscure stuff. We liked heavy metal. We liked just folk. We liked everything, like just a tapestry of everything. Mm-hmm. And it was really exciting to jam with him. And then because he was really kind of an established longtime music guy who grew up in Spokane and then all around here, he took us to shows everywhere, and all these underground performers that I never heard of came to life around us. And
I think most importantly,
very exciting time to be alive.
Most importantly, the best. To the point of the question is, when did we start playing? Was
listen, while that wasn't the answer to my question, we learned so much.
No. I'm directing. Right. I'm getting you to the Jeff Jackson, and that's why I said this. our friend Jeff Jackson, who we played,
who'll be here in a couple of weeks, who
we love, who's been in many bands, who's still currently all around, and that we play with and noodle around with, and you can even go to our YouTube channel and watch a bat smack him in the head a couple times while we're just jamming.
That's a great video.
He would have us over to his place with a few of our other friends from the Science Center. And oh dang it, Valerie's in the yard. Neighbor dog's in the yard, sorry. And we would jam and we would noodle together. And that's where Holly and I started to learn to play together and do things. And that's where I felt a freedom to kind of explore what I felt and still kind of feel inadequate to do, which is play drums. Because if someone came up to me who knew theory, who knew stuff like that, and said, "Oh, I love when you play this certain timing," I would look at them, like, yeah. What'd you just say to me? I got no idea. Because that's why I still call myself a skin pounder. I feel my way through a thing in that. But from this, from all of the jamming together, improv and stuff, that's kind of where Age of Fiction figured out how to do this.
It's how we're so intuitive, or like how we can read each other's thoughts, people notice on stage, or just how we're in sync. And we can do that in a live jam. And it's just, we act as one. We just are tuned in. Mm-hmm. And we hear the same music because partly we've been listening to the same music for a really long time. We have the same favorite bands. We have the same favorite stuff.
Or we've introduced each other to music that we went, what?
That now the two of us love. Yeah,
our whole lives, like, how did I not know this?
Adding to this thing we're sharing that's bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, did Brian say to you, Holly, I want to play drums, you write all the songs?
No, I had written hundreds of songs by the time we started this.
Brian said, "Can you
albums.
write a song that has room for the drums?"
That was
it, or has room for other things. That's what improving I think was the best for us. It allowed me to learn to play with everyone. Listen to everyone that's playing, to listen to all the parts.
We had both done other kinds of ensemble arts. We had done theater together. We had done music together in other forms. We've been in choir. We've done things, and I had done that kind of ensemble work with people, but I had never done musical improv or created things. And it was through Age of Fiction and this sort of group and the people that we knew. Yeah. We ended up doing all kinds of things. I even came up with a score for a musical and then trained a bunch of musicians to perform it, and dancers.
And that right there is a real essential part of how Age of Fiction got together, because she was writing this really specific score,
a rock opera kind of thing.
That I don't want to say it this way, because I can definitely be debated because I didn't do it, but almost seemed from my observation that it was writing itself based on what the character needed through Holly.
It was. Yep. That is how I write. I really just open up and let whatever is trying to do its thing. I try to let it be as big and as whatever it wants to be the most. So whatever it asks.
For the first time, she was doing something that was completely different than her solo work, where right before that, I would try to write something to her solo stuff. And occasionally I can do something pretty good to that. We're still working on some of those early things. Occasionally we go, oh, should we do that? And it's hard for me to get in there because a lot of them are just dependent on how she played those things. But when she wrote that score, it was slightly different. And I started playing to the feeling of the moment and the movement.
Yeah. I was trying to give lots of room to all the different musicians and the different parts. Yeah. And I've always been able to hear orchestration, but I'd never sat there other than an 8-track or something like that. I never sat there and laid things out and then had other people be part of it. And I didn't have to write anything for Brian because he already hears music the way I do. And he knows when I'm building something up, how big I actually want it to be.
I've just been listening to her for so long. It's almost like I don't have to think about it. I just listen. Sometimes I'm grilling meat while she's writing something, or in and out dealing with the kids. And then I hear her take a moment, and then I come out and I just start playing. And it's but I've been listening, I've been listening. But that definitely was, we'd had some songs that she had written that were different than her solo stuff that we played, and we still play them. But
I started writing expressly for Age of Fiction when we realized it sounds so good with you playing with my singing, and we got to that point.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to start writing stuff to make room for you. And I wrote things off our first album, True Fiction, has Big Bad.
No, that's our third album.
Big Bad's up. Oh, excuse me. Big Bad's up.
Third album.
It's getting weird.
We're looking up at the top of the garage door because we have the garage open.
What am I thinking of?
You can see this is outside. This is inside.
What's the name of?
You're thinking of It Never Was.
It Never Was is a great example off the first album. Yeah, because it's got more spare. There's a lot of space for Brian to do the rhythm in there. There's sections just where I'm not playing constantly. But as a soloist, I was trying to play in clubs and stuff. I played in bars where there's going to be a 3-piece band and I'm a soloist. And I would write this
female
space prog glam rock that was very full and very big, using every part of my keyboard and voice to do that. And so it was like paring it back, but then it got much more, I thought it got much more quality to it as we started doing that. And as time has gone on, we've kind of worked our way back to complex, which is exactly where we are with this album now. Back to kind of where I was writing, only now it's us improvising, and it's much, much bigger, much better than before.
It's a long story to get to the answer, but I hope you followed.
I don't know if you have time to stick that all in your segment. But.
I feel like I'm over my 3 questions, but they were minor questions, but I got so much out of it. So that was awesome.
That's good. I feel like we're talkative.
So
you got something.
So the song that we're going to feature tonight, Original Geeks. I feel like you just kind of described it there right at the end. But tell us about the song a little bit.
All right. Original Geeks is a song about how all of the people who are running the world nowadays, it feels like, are a bunch of people without a lot of quality who are out there saying that they're the originals and they have all these quality skills. Maybe they call themselves nerds, geeks, they're riding rockets, they're blowing stuff up, they do what they want. Meanwhile, there are a lot of original geeks kind of in the woodwork doing things. And I don't think that those actors have any idea the amount of people who are adept at creatively navigating the world in ways they just can't even imagine from their perspective point. So that's where that song comes from, or that's the kernel of the idea where it comes from. And it is kind of a longer prog song that has a lot of exciting sort of twists and turns to it.
Yeah. So we're going to end the show by listening to Original Geeks by Age of Fiction. Right under them in the video, and for those of you not watching the video, is their Bandcamp. It's aofiction.bandcamp.com. Make sure you go there. That's the best place to go to buy original music from unsigned bands, because that's where they get the most money. So hint, hint, that's where you want to go. And I want to thank you.
On first Fridays.
Yes. It's what, like 96% on or something on that day? Like it's everything but what?
Yeah, you get more. That's all we know.
Right.
It's like more.
It's
our album drops the 1st of September. So
nice. All right, so we're going to head off into the evening. We're going to play Original Geeks by Age of Fiction, and they're going to hang out so I can tell a story, but the rest of you are going to come back for the next episode, and I don't know when that's going to be yet because I'm changing up again because school starts and I can't do 2 podcasts per week because it just doesn't work. So pay attention. I don't know where to pay. Go to buildandscene.com. You'll find out there for sure. After that, I don't know where you should look. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully Facebook. All right.
Someplace. All right.
Thank
you, Bill.
Thank you.